What's happening today, everybody? Robin here from AriesFireTarot. I'm going to throw down some cards for you, do a little mini reading for guidance today using the Gilded Tarot deck. I'm going to grab those cards. They flipped right out. When cards pop out, they want to be read. Like, that's just the way it is. When I first started reading, I was doing a sample reading for my sister, and the first card I pulled out was something I wasn't very confident about, so I kind of cheated and started the video over again, shuffled the deck, and the same card came back out again. So it was like, yeah, this card really wants to be read, so I just went with it. So when the cards come out, this is what the guides are telling us. So I've got the Tower here and the Wheel of Fortune. Oh, excuse me, the Tower. The Tower card is about an impending change. I'll talk about that more in a minute. And then the Wheel of Fortune is also about changes about to happen or something shifting in your life. So, I mean, to me, that just sets the tone of the reading right there. We've got two cards that are saying, okay, things are about to get shaken up, not necessarily in a bad way. You might want to get ready for that, but I'll continue to pull some cards here. Once again, trying a new camera angle. Thanks for your patience. So the Tower card, it looks apocalyptic, but it's not. The Tower card is something that it signifies some sort of change coming up. But here, I'll show you in a second. I want to flip one more card right now. Nine of Wands. Nine of Wands signifies that you might need a bit of a break here. Been working really hard with these 8 wands behind you. Wands being action symbol, and the soldier here taking a bit of a break, maybe just looking off into the distance and plotting his next move, which kind of falls right in line here. So Tower card. Okay, the top of the card looks horrifying, but if you just concentrate here on the bottom of the card and the strong foundation. So this one, and I'm getting this message that a karmic cycle has been completed in your life. That means that the Wheel of Fortune can move to the next cycle in your life. I don't know how many people believe in karma and that the universe will keep sending you the same sort of scenario over and over again until you figure it out, until you complete a cycle. So that's sort of the impression that I'm getting here, is that a karmic cycle has been completed for somebody or many people. And depending on the reading, the same cards are going to give me different messages. So just because we might have seen this in a different reading doesn't mean it means the same thing. Forgive me for babbling. I tend to do that. But so something's being shaken up here in your life. The karmic circle has been completed, a karmic cycle. And if that has, like, congratulations. Nothing is worse than doing the same thing over and over again and not learning a lesson. The Three of Swords. So the swords are about emotion, not emotion, but thought. This card represents some sort of a struggle within the family or a relationship. It's pretty apparent in the card that, you know, things aren't going so great here. There's the big heart here with swords just piercing it all the way through. So, and a cloudy sky, and it's like gross and dismal and ouch. So this is saying there might have been or will be or is right now some sort of strain going on in one of your major relationships, like your immediate family or your spouse or partner. But this is not like an end of a cycle. This is sort of something you're just going to have to get over. And it's an indication that you will get past it. I mean, life is like that. Like, the people you love most in the world can frequently be also the most irritating people in the world. So if you're having a spat with somebody, just work on improving that. I mean, sometimes a little space is needed or whatever, or just a conversation. It's pretty amazing misinterpretations that people have also of the same situation. So is the Six of Pentacles. This is a sign. This comes in when the universe is saying maybe you need to be a little bit more generous, or conversely, somebody wants to be generous with you. You can see all these pentacles are sort of floating around this dude here. But there's hands reached out here. There are hands reaching out. So they're either going to give you something or they would like to take something away. And, you know, not everybody has a lot to give, but I honestly think that everybody has something to give. Like, even if it's like a couple bucks for somebody on the street. And I find those seem to be the most grateful people in the world, actually. And if you don't have any money to give, donate your time. That's pretty cool too. There's lots of animal rescues and shelters and you know, soup kitchens that they just need people to come in and work for a couple hours, like either scooping litter boxes or helping to prep food or whatever. This is the Hierophant. The Hierophant pops out into a reading when... So this pops into a reading when somebody that you might hold as a trusted advisor is going to be giving you some sort of mentoring with the situation. It can represent traditional values and moral ethics, or the need to find deeper meaning in life. The Hierophant can also represent spiritual matters. So, right now I have a bunch of cards that are not tying together for me. I don't usually ask for help, but I need help interpreting these cards today, please. How do these cards talk to each other? Pull some more. Three of Wands. The Three of Wands represents somebody with a part of their journey behind them, but they've still got a ways to go. Wands being an action card, so somebody has been working on a solid foundation. So even if things are shaking up, you still have a solid foundation, and that's what the Three of Wands is telling you. You've got a solid foundation. But still with some ways to go. Looking off into the distance, waiting for that ship to come in. I still need help. I still need help. I need some messages, please. Take one more. So the Seven of Cups. This cup looks like it's pretty fantastic with all these cups reaching out to you, but there's a warning when there's so many choices that you might not want to make the wrong one. So be careful and sort of meditate and plan on what would be the best thing for you. We've got everything under the sun represented in these cups. And they're being offered to you from source, but it's actually okay to take one thing at a time and decide on what you want. Like, if something is meant for you, it will be there for you. I'm actually just going to go on a pause and just have a look here and sort of meditate on these cards because I need some input and I don't want to bore you guys with a big long meditative pause. So I will be right back. Hey guys, okay, I've just been kind of looking at these cards and I'm seeing some connections that make a little bit of sense to me, like with the Wheel of Fortune here. And I feel like the Wheel of Fortune is representing the end of a karmic cycle. And I believe that the Hierophant is going to be the messenger that comes into you to help you close that cycle that you're just on it like a hamster wheel right now. And you're going around and around. And I think that these wands, they actually relate to each other. Three of Wands, been working really hard, still got a long way to go, but you actually need to take a bit of a break and just sort things out. So I'm just going to group those together. And I feel like those are all tied together. You're working really hard but at something. You're working really hard at something, but it's not completing. And this could be even on your soul journey. Somebody's going to come in and maybe help you on your spiritual journey to help you close that karmic circle. Maybe this has to do with fighting with somebody in your family. It just keeps on going around and around and around. Okay, thanks for bearing with me. This one is sort of a tough one. It's not popping into my head like most readings do, but I'm getting an overall sense now that the karmic circle is related to a relationship. The karmic cycle. I don't know why I keep saying circle, except for it's the shape of a circle. And I think it's possibly tied to greed. Is there, and I feel like this is like an almost ultimate relationship in your life. Most likely a spouse. It could be somebody else, but now I'm getting the impression that it's a spouse and they're probably spending too much time, or you are spending too much time chasing endless, I want to say propositions. Just focusing on too much. And it's causing your world to, this is an explosion, but I'm seeing implosion. The person here, I'm seeing like two people in the cards. The person here, they think they're doing the right thing. They're working really hard, but they're overextending themselves. And the person it is exhausting is you. Whoever this is in the relationship, whoever is going full out and looking for the future, it is wearing out the partner. So, and I think that this is you. And it's causing this rift. I think one person is just focusing all the way into their work life. There's no work-life balance. Like this person, they're so involved in accelerating their career that they're forgetting about their family. And I think that's where the generosity comes in. I think the generosity like the most important thing you can give to people in your life is your time. So this is Pentacles here, which represents like material wealth and finance, etc. But I mean, you have to be generous with your time as well. And I think that there could be somebody coming in and saying, you know, if you'd like to save your relationship, you're going to have to slow down and look at what really matters in your life. And I'm just getting the sense that this is somebody like a parent or a grandparent, and it's somebody that is somebody that is not in the greatest of health. Just put it that way. And they want to give you the advice that, you know, you can have all the material goods in the world, but if you don't have anybody to come home to and your house is falling apart around your ears, like, what is the point? So I'm just seeing the advice to keep a work-life balance. Make sure that your relationships are a priority. The people in your life are really all that you have. So you want to make sure and hang on to them. I just really feel like I need to pull an essential tarot card. I don't know why. So maybe if you're having a bit of a tough time in your primary relationships, you might want to seek counsel and not wait for it to come in. I'm getting prompted to pull an essential tarot card on the Wheel of Fortune, which is the Ten of Swords. So the Ten of Swords is just a state of overwhelm, really dark thoughts, almost signifies a death. In the Ten of Swords in the Essential Tarot, these swords are all piercing the person's back. That doesn't happen in the Gilded Tarot. So there is a death here, and it's tied to the Wheel of Fortune. So is it the death of a relationship? I don't think it is, but what I do think it is, it's the death of a cycle of focusing too much on career. I don't know if anybody's ever dated somebody that all they could think about was work, and they worked all day and all night, and like trying to have a date night with somebody, and they're on their phone and they're making phone calls, and and meanwhile you're just sitting there like, why did I even bother getting dressed for this, right? It's not a good feeling, and it can lead to this. And meanwhile you're talking to your partner and they're like, oh, what are you talking about? I'm so important, right? I mean, and it's really difficult to get a person like that, a high functioning, high achiever type A person, to settle down and put a relationship first. So if you're looking to get into a relationship with somebody like that, I mean, you need to be prepared. It is not fun. Feels like you're coming in second all the time. I feel like I need to pull one more card. And the Three of Swords is calling to me. So I've got the Queen of Pentacles here. So I think that this is the sort of energy that a person would need to get through this situation here, where the Queen of Pentacles is like, she's the Earth Mother, loving, very generous with her time. She just cares for everybody. So if you're the person or people in this situation, and you are having a really strained relationship due to one partner just focusing on work. And there's nothing wrong with having a successful career, but having a successful career to the exclusion of a successful life, I mean, what is the point? You just don't want to end up at the end of your life thinking, oh, I'm alone, you know, with my bank balance, and so what? I mean, what does that do for you? So this is the sense that I'm getting from these cards. This is a situation that needs to be genuinely handled with care and respect. And the Queen of Pentacles, I mean, you can see just how loving she is just by looking at her face, and she's kind about it. Like, she's not mean. She's coming to the table and she's saying, look, these are my needs and I really need to be respected. You could even schedule in date nights and stuff like that. Like being generous with your time, or asking for a generosity from your partner. So I really think that will end this person's karmic cycle of being addicted to work. Like, it's called workaholic for a reason, right? Because people are addicted to work and they get some sort of gratification from it, like a real high. I mean, I'll pass on that, but I mean, if that's where they get most of their happiness from, what can you do about it except go and talk to them? I mean, all these options out in the world are great, but having somebody at home to share it with before this happens, and then what? And then they're like, oh, I don't know why she left me. I don't know why he left me, and they're clueless, right? So it's up to you to go and ask for some generosity of time. And if you're feeling really lost and you just don't know what to do anymore, go and ask for some guidance from somebody that knows what they're talking about. So, and I think that this relationship has been a lot of effort, and it's something that you'd like to keep looking forward to. But you might just need a little bit of a break from it, and that could even be a vacation right there, is taking that. Yeah, so that's what I see. If you're dealing with that kind of a situation, it's possible to manage it in a kind way without blowing the whole thing up. So that's what the cards are telling me today, everybody. So I hope this helped somebody. If it gave you a little bit of insight into how to manage a situation, give me a thumbs up or a shout out in the comments. I really appreciate your time today. I really enjoyed doing this reading. It was one of the most challenging ones I've done to try and pull meaning out of it, but I think we did okay. So thanks, everybody, and we'll talk to you real soon. Okay, bye for now. Big hand, bye, bye, bye.